All right, good morning, everyone. It is, yeah, after the week I had, it is Saturday. Good morning and welcome to the Fed League Flash. Of course, I am Gary Ryan. And, you know what? I've got to adjust this just a little. Of course, I have the board on the horizontal, so, yeah, gotta add a little width. But anyway, hmm. Okay, so um, last night we're going to recap the games from last night, and I'm going to begin this in order of games that had, I don't want to say the least amount of significance, but as far as impact on the postseason, we're going to move from that to the most significant game as far as how things are going. Little hint, you'll notice there's still a couple blank spaces here. That is the bracket for the upcoming playoffs. All right, so first game we're going to talk about, Binghamton travels over I-86, takes on Elmira. It's a 10-3 whitewash, and we'll talk about a couple of positive things. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about this game, unfortunately. Tyler Jurich did get 2 goals, 3 assists, so he is now 1 goal away from becoming the first FPHL member to score 300 goals. Of course, Jurich has 300 goals over the course of his career, but that also includes a few goals in the SPHL and one in the ECHL. So that's why I want to make that distinguishment there. Don Oliveri and Andrew Logar also had 2 goals and an assist. Luke Richards scored a goal and an assist in a losing effort. But this was an ugly, ugly game. The first period wasn't bad. It was 2-1 after one. Teams were playing pretty tight, pretty well, and then things just fell off a cliff. And 100 minutes and penalties altogether. Cheap shots, uh, fans at each other, altercations in the stands. I've got to come out here publicly and basically poo-poo what Mackie Donner said. He's the color commentator for Elmira. He said, "Oh, this is great. This builds a rivalry." No, this builds stupidity. Fans, if you are traveling to someone else's venue, recognize you're a guest. Please behave yourself. And home team fans, please treat the guests nicely, respectfully. You know, we can root for other teams, but don't start messing with the fans who paid money out of their own pockets to travel to your venue and buy a ticket and support your team by buying said ticket, by being an idiot. Just don't. All right. That's all I'm going to have to say about that. All right. So, next game, Delaware takes care of business. They host Watertown, and it's a 5-2 decision for the Thunder. An all-around dominating performance by Delaware. How often do we get to say that? The Wizard of Kaz, Spencer Kozlowski, made 39 of 41 saves. MGM, Marquise Grant-Mentis, had 2 goals. He's been red hot the last few weeks. Dennis Gaffarov added the goal and assist, and Daniil Malushkin had the game-winning goal for the Thunder. For the Wolves, boy, they're falling apart, and it's just not at a good time. Not this close to the playoffs. Zach Horn and Colton McGuire did each score. I would assume a suspension is coming for Matthias Tellstrom, who received 2 game misconducts, including a physical abuse of officials. So how that affects things potentially for the playoffs, we'll have to wait and see. The last thing the Wolves need is to lose a player to a suspension going into the playoffs. So tonight, perhaps the final game in Harrington. The rematch is tonight. Um, Please, if you haven't already, sign the petition to save the Thunder. Don't care if you're a Thunder fan or not. Um, uh, the petition is going to be submitted to members of the Delaware State Fair tonight. So check there's several different Facebook pages that have a link to the petition. Please sign it so that there can be a huge voice saying we want the Thunder in the FPHL next year. All right, Danbury. They traveled over to Michigan, take on the Port Huron Prowlers. It's a 5-3 decision. Sorry about that. Anyway, okay, so first of all, congratulations to Dustin Henning for reaching a great milestone, 500 games played overall in his career. That's great. At minor pro on this level, there's not many that reach that 500 game milestone. So, congratulations, Dustin. Well deserved. He ended up getting kind of an honorary third star of the game. That is a phenomenal milestone. So, with the game, Daniel McKittrick ends up scoring 2 goals and an assist. He's been absolutely on fire lately. He's just been lighting it up for the hat tricks, which is good news. With Johnny Ruiz kind of in and out of the lineup, I know he's been battling injuries all year. So McKittrick, 2 goals, including the game winner. Michael Flanga added a goal and assist. Gino Mini ended up potting 2 goals for the Prowlers. And Frankie McClendon, not used all that often, but he's still a very, very solid goaltender. He ends up saving 27 out of 30 shots and gets the win for the visiting hat tricks. So Port Huron, with that loss, combined with Motor City winning, and the next game we're going to talk about, takes on the first place team. Port Huron's locked into that 4th seed. We don't know who the first seed is going to be until tonight. Motor City ends up taking care of business, playing the Seawolves, a 7-3 win. Very interesting game. Scotty Koash ends up getting the hat trick. Danny Vanderweel adds a goal and assist for the Rockers, and they solidify that 3rd place seeding in the Continental Division, and we'll find out who their opponent is later on tonight. Trevor Babin, he's been missing for a couple weeks, dealing with some illness and other things. He returns and kind of a strange return, ends up getting in 2 fights. And the second one was 3rd ban in, so he gets the gate. I don't think that's going to lead to a suspension, but who knows? And this is the concern I always have for Babin. He's physically one of the most gifted goalies in the league, but emotionally he just becomes very easily unhinged, and you have things like this. He did make 22 saves before his exit. Meanwhile, for Mississippi, Yanni Lariakos has 2 assists. Looks like he'll win the race for 2nd place with teammate, here it is, Yaroslav Yevdokimov. You know I had to get that in there. So anyway, right now Lariakos has a 4-point lead over Yevdokimov. Yevdokimov now has 99 points on the season, so tonight we'll see if both of them can cross the 100-point threshold. So we will see. All right, final game, and this was by far not just the most important game of the night, but the best game of the night. Columbus River Dragons taking on the Carolina Thunderbirds. It's a winner-take-all weekend, and teams battling for that first place spot in the Continental Division. And it goes to a shootout. And save, goal! Columbus wins 4-3. Just a 1-0 advantage in the shootout. Brendan Colgan, what a night. returns back to his usual form after a couple of, by his standards, subpar performances. Still good, but anyway, saves 55 shots out of 55 saves out of 58 shots, including 3 in the shootout. This game only featured 12 penalty minutes altogether, because obviously both teams recognized it was more important for their sticks to do the talking than their fists. Alexander Jemayev had a goal and an assist for the River Dragons. Jacob Kelly scored the only shootout goal, and Peter Panachik, he added 2 goals for Carolina. So this game was back and forth. Columbus, 3 times, they take a 1-goal advantage, and each time Carolina comes back to tie. So this was just momentum swinging back and forth like a pendulum, and it wasn't decided until the shootout session. Boris Babic, he's done a fantastic job filling in for Mario Cavalier. He ends up saving 38 of 41. So both teams right now, as you see on the bottom, tied with 115 points. So whoever wins tonight in any form, any shape, they're the number 1 seed. They will take on Port Huron. We'll fill in the blank, and we'll fill in the blank with the other one. The loser taking on the Motor City Rockers. So that's it for the wrap up. Gonna go a little bit on a soapbox here. In the end, last night I found the Columbus Carolina game to be the most enjoyable game to watch. Really exciting hockey. I found the Binghamton Elmira game the least enjoyable to watch. It just got so ugly, and the just ridiculous amount of cheap shots back and forth. Crowds going and becoming vile. That's not hockey. One thing that really struck my mind the last few weeks, you may have seen it if you watch this game on YouTube. There's been a few players from Binghamton that have gathered together at the end of the game to kneel down and pray. And I just thought it was awesome that, as Elmira is saluting the crowd, Justin Schmidt went over to join the prayer circle. Whether you are a person of faith or not, that's a powerful statement. To seeing that, ugly is not a good look for the FPHL. The FPHL, I mean, it's been 13 years, but it's still a relatively new league. Here's a league that's trying to build, trying to expand, trying to gain credibility and shed that beer league status. And the majority of the games last night were just ugly. Conversely, you have a game with the best 2 teams, arguably 2 of the best teams, taking on each other and deciding the game on the ice. And it was a highly entertaining game. This is the kind of thing that the league should want to build on. There's a time and a place for fighting in hockey, but it just if it's devolving into just pure ugliness, there's no need for it. So there's my 2 cents worth. I am not anti-fighting. I'm just saying that there is a time and a place for it. So you've heard me on my soapbox. Thank you very much. I descend. I appreciate you guys very much watching. Again, we will find out how everything pans out tonight. We'll finish the bracket and start working on our way to the Cup Championship. Thank you again so much for watching. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Always remember, Tuesday through Thursday, we do a Spotify version of the podcast. Go to Spotify, download the app. It is free. Doesn't cost you a thing. And you can follow me at Fed League Flash there. And you can keep in tune with everything you need to know about the Fed in 15 minutes or less. It's almost 15 minutes, so I will say good day.